back in my kitchen the next day, and started to work on the floor. So the first thing I had to do was use a line level to try to decide or try to see how much of a rise I needed to bring up this floor by in order to make it level. Now the doorway is that way, and I wanted the plywood to sit flat in front of the main entrance to the house and to that doorway. And that means that under these cupboards over here, I needed to bring the floor up. Turns out to be a full 2x4 height that I gotta bring it up. So that meant I needed to cut wedges. Now I'm to the point that I have wedges cut and I'm ready to start laying them down on the floor. So now I have my first wedge laid down on the floor. I squared it up to the 2x4 that I'm going to be using as my level point, and it's just to continue on with that. So let's have a look. Okay, so I have my first one laid in. It's screwed to the floor and nice and square to this top frame, and the next one is going to go 12 inches over. I decided to do 12 inch on center instead of 16 because it gives me an even number of studs across the floor, and more importantly, it's more support leveling this floor. I need to cheat a little bit. I want to measure the space in between the studs and cut myself a spacer so I don't have to measure every time. I just need to make sure it's square. So the job is going to continue like this for a little bit. I have to cut a few more wedges, and then I got to get more of these screwed down. So essentially what I'm trying to do is get the floor to sit level from this side to this side. which is going pretty well, I think. But it's also important to remember to keep the floor level going across the new joist as well. Not going to do me any good to get it level from front to back here and have it turn out to be wonky on the other end. So I got enough joists laid down that I can put down my first piece of plywood. It's 5/8 of an inch exterior grade plywood. It's tongue and groove, which should help move things along. But as normal, I've hit a bit of a snag. Room here is not square. Not exactly a huge surprise considering the age of the house. But it means I now have to cut out a fairly large triangle out of this sheet in order to get it to butt up against the wall in a sensible fashion. Alright, so I'm going to do that next, and I'm going to use a jigsaw. Wedge under this one I left loose until I positioned the plywood so that I can get it just on the edge of the plywood. I wasn't sure where exactly it was going to line up, having to cut angled piece off the inside here. Like this project is taking forever, days, should be easy, right? No big deal to it, except I have to keep taking things apart and move them. This is where we keep most of our pots and pans and stuff. We had another cabinet here on the side of it, and this takes time to fill up. This is what happens when you have mice in the house. I'm not going to name details here for you, but it makes quite a mess. It has to be cleaned up. That hole in the wall is where I fished wires down. And now this also needs to be cleaned up, patched over, made look pretty again. This one as well. And of course, I can't do much about the panel box the way it is, but in general, it's all of this space needs to be cleaned up as I'm going along, so that I'm not leaving this mess under my new floor. All this stuff needs to be moved around and configured again so that I can get access to the empty floor space that I need. But hopefully this will be the last major bit. But that's it for me for now, and I'll try to get back to you with an update sometime soon. Thumbs up button is there, subscribe button is there, and if you got a comment, suggestion, something to say, drop it in the comment section below. Alright? I'll see you when I see you.